I've covered quite a few fighting game mods here on IGN, but this might be one of the most impressive. Thanks to modder Kongmeng, the protagonist of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yami Yugi has been added to the Dragon Ball Fighterz roster. But this isn't just a palette swap. He has brand new mechanics that might make him one of the most complicated characters to learn. Let's go over how to install him, and how he works. Links for everything you'll need to install the mod, other than the base game of course, will be in the description of this video. There are also instructions, troubleshooting info, and character trailers up on Kongmeng's mod page. First, you need to own Dragon Ball Fighterz and have it installed, and to take note of the file path in case you need it. To make full use of this mod, you'll need to install it using the Unverum mod manager. After downloading and extracting the manager off of Game Banana, make sure you hit setup and wait for the confirmation message. If it doesn't work immediately, you may need to search for the game's file path manually, which is why we took note of it earlier. After setup is complete, you can download the mod inside of Unverum by going to the Browse Mods tab, finding the mod, and selecting Download. Once it's downloaded, click back over to the Manage Mods tab, and make sure you have the checkbox next to the mod checked, and then hit Launch. Remember, when using a mod manager, mods often won't run correctly if you run a game through a different launcher like Steam. You'll need to launch DBFZ from inside Unverum. If you don't want to download the mod inside of Unverum, you can also do it manually on Game Banana, and even install the mod without using the manager altogether, although you'll lose some training menu options, and some text will be off as well. I haven't done this method myself, as after some poking around it looks like you need to manually disable anti-cheat software, and stuff I honestly just don't want to mess with, and since it won't even include all the features without the mod manager, it's strongly recommended you use Unverum if you want the full experience. Also, Yugi takes the place of Android 17 on the character select screen, so at least for now, if you want Android 17 on your team, you're out of luck. But Kongmeng mentioned on their mod page that there's a chance this could be changed in the future. To preface this section of the guide, I've gotta be straight with you. Yugi is a complicated character to wrap your head around, and I haven't played much DBFZ since Bardock's Lariat was still a top tier assist, but I can still run you through the basics. He's a bit of a mix of deck building characters like Asuka from Guilty Gear Strive, and a puppet character like the Clovers in BlazBlue. If you want to see some really sick stuff like sandwich pressure, trap card combos, and just general insanity, Kongmeng has been sharing community clips on their social media, and it's definitely worth a look. There's also a more in-depth breakdown of his card mechanics on the mod page. I'll also be using numpad notation since we're playing an anime fighter, and Yugi's card commands remain the same no matter where he is on screen. So saying forward or backward would get confusing really fast. If you're not familiar with numpad notation, look at the right side of your keyboard, and a direction will correspond to each number. 4 is left, 2 is down, and so on. So 2, 3, 6 would be a quarter circle to the right, and 2, 1, 4 would be a quarter circle to the left. While you can control Yugi with a special button in the D-pad, you'll mostly be controlling Dark Magician as your actual character and hittable body. His moveset is pretty limited. You have your standard light, medium, and heavy attack buttons, and one special move with Dark Magic, which is Arrow K, and can side switch with the light attack version, so you can follow up after a vanish, which is always cool. You can also get some pretty easy re-jump combos with a Beam or Fireball assist off his double-hitting JMJH, and he also has the now since Season 2 standard teleporting 5M, a fellow kindred with DBFZ's many war crime buttons. While Dark Magician's attacks aren't anything too crazy, Yugi becomes a much more unique character once you incorporate his card mechanic. Yugi has a pool of 40 cards he can draw from, and he can chain together these draws to fill his hand of 5 cards. These include 20 yellow cards for monsters, 10 pink cards for traps, and 10 green cards for spells. Each card slot has a directional command for drawing and then playing that particular slot, with left to right using numpad notation being 2, 1, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 6. And these will remain the commands for these slots no matter which side of the screen you're on. Pressing any of these directional commands, plus either L, M, or H, doesn't matter which, will draw a card to fill that slot, and you can keep pressing that same attack button while moving to the ending direction of that command to chain draws together. That sounds like a lot, but for instance, if you have no cards drawn, you can enter 2, 1, 4 light attack to draw the leftmost card, and then keep pressing light as you slide to 1, 2, 3, and then 6 to chain those draws one after the other. Once you have a card in a particular slot, Inputting that same directional command, plus an attack button, will play that card. Unlike when you drew them, which attack button you use for which command now matters, and whether or not you hold the attack button will create different effects, such as feinting an attack rather than going through with it. And some spells will also originate from either Dark Magician or Yugi depending on whether you hold the button, which is what can create that sandwich pressure. Yugi has 3 supers, 1 level 1 and 2 level 3s. His level 1 is pretty unremarkable in terms of mechanics, but his first level 3, Slipher the Sky Dragon, does more damage depending on how many cards you have in your hand. His other level 3, Berserker Soul, operates exactly as the actual card would have you believe. Your opponent keeps taking damage as long as Yugi keeps drawing monster cards. As soon as he draws a trap or a spell, the attack will end. Yugi also has an instant kill, and yes, you guessed it, it's Exodia. If you fill every card slot with Exodia's 5 parts, you'll instantly win the match. And since this is still a 3v3 game, Yugi does have assists if he's not on point, and can be played online, as long as everyone has the same version of the game and mod installed. Just know that your pool of other players will be majorly diminished, so don't expect to have an easy time matchmaking unless you're coordinating beforehand. The last really cool thing about the mod is that if you use the mod manager, you do get a full special move list for Yugi, and you can use Android 21's options to set his card types in practice mode when you reset. Just keep scrolling through the options for her different menu items, and even though the text won't be the same, you can just scroll each option over once to have them all be monster cards, and then again for another type, and so on. Really cool stuff. It's been a fantastic year for fighting game mods, with giant efforts like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond, spearheaded by Maximilian Dude, and the incredible roster expansion of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Community Edition. The FGC can always be counted on to show older or overlooked games some love, and that's energy we can all hopefully ride into this new year. Thanks for watching, and while you're here, make sure to check out our other mod videos. And for everything else, keep it locked to IGN.
さすが次も期待してるぜ Android 17 Win このデュエル俺たちの結束の力が制したようだな